Putting an urban development in a landscape introduces a lot of hard surfaces, and this creates water runoff at levels that are really impacting nearby creeks and streams.
Because we've paved over so much of the landscape and so much of it is impermeable, rainwater isn't being collected by the local environment and the water can move really fast.
In order to slow this down, wetlands can be installed and they can slow the water speed and velocity in these high rain events.
Water-sensitive urban design is for the technology that's been developed around slowing down water and allowing it to be treated before it flows out from your landscape into a bigger water source.
This is a whole purification process of making use of the water, but the water's also providing great habitat for all sorts of animals.
It's really important to be responsible for the water that flows through your landscape.
The estate's been designed around the homes, holding as much water as we can upstream. The water that runs off the roads and off the properties into swales, the water then moves its way through the wetlands, down these creek lines.
There's areas of quite large open water that go through channels that get narrower and narrower and then open up again.
It's being cleaned as it comes through. It gets held up in these series of ponds, and then it's reaching natural wetlands that then break out into the seas.
Wherever humans live, we use a lot of chemicals and pollutants. Water-sensitive urban design integrates plants in order to filter the water out.
We'd offer between 40 and 60 aquatic species that would be a perfect fit for wetlands.
Aquatic plants improve the water quality physically by stopping the sediment, and they do it chemically and biologically by actually filtering out the nutrients and the pollutants.
It's not just the plants, it's all the things that they support. Tadpoles have nowhere to live unless they have a plant to live on.
Plants are really excellent soil stabilizers, and they prevent erosion by putting their roots through the soil and in doing so stabilizing the ground itself. So that prevents erosion at a local level and then also prevents sediment buildup when it gets to the waterways.
The plants that we use are custom built to deal with all of this stuff.
In your own backyard, you can capture rainwater from your roof. This home is collecting rainwater from the rooftops and plumbing it into this big rainwater tank and using that to water the native garden plantings and the vegetable garden. Having more plant and water sources around can reduce urban heat island effect, and also replacing impermeable surfaces with permeable paving so that rainwater it's able to be absorbed into the landscape rather than running off and causing flooding or erosion problems down the line. Wetland ecosystems are some of the most threatened in the world, and a lot of cities' development is built around water sources, and that really impacts the food sources for a lot of wildlife. Planting your dam out with wetland plants can improve the retention of your landscape. Here at the Cape, we've created a whole environment. People can wander around, they can have a sit, they can observe the local bird life, and it creates a really beautiful habitat for people as well.
It's fantastic as a resident. It's a great place to come and sit, and what we're seeing is the revitalisation of habitat and the birds and the animals moving in.
Building wetlands and conducting water-sensitive urban design within your landscape is a really important way to filter out any pollutants and sediments from the water before it goes into larger sources and can have bigger ecological impacts.